In this video, I'm going to support you in completing the Explorer for Day 4 in Mathematical Modeling Characteristics. So at this point, you should have created your own model and answered some questions about it, thinking deeply about the different relationships that you saw within the data set. At this point, you are going to be given the option to, or the opportunity to partner up with someone and answer some questions. In case you don't have access to a partner, I'm going to provide you with my model that I created in a previous video, and we can work together to answer those questions. If you do have access to a partner, you can watch this video to understand some ways in which you can answer these questions and then answer the questions with your partner's mathematical model. And so here's the model. If I just show you the original slide, it asks you to partner up, but imagining you don't have a partner, or just for the sake of reviewing how to do this, we're looking at this model right here, okay? And so we're going to go to the Explorer and we're going to answer some of these questions. So the first question says, describe the relationship this model shows. So take a moment, look over this model, and think about what the relationship is being shown through this model. You can pause the video at any time when you would like to think about and work on this on your own. So in this situation, and I'm just going to present it, the relationships that's being shown is the relationship between cost per year of college and the median earnings after 10 years. Okay, and the question that I wanted to know was, does the cost per year affect the median earnings? If the cost is higher, does that mean that the median earnings are higher? And that's what this model is meant to show. How might this be helpful in making informed college choices? Before we jump to that, I just want you to think about also for that question, is there a relationship? What is this model showing? Well, there is some relationship because you see some of the points clustering here, but the correlation coefficient is only 0.354, and we have a lot of outliers and a lot of points that are not clustered around the line. So there is not a strong correlation here happening between cost per year and median earnings, okay? Because at certain points you could have a cost per year of $60,000, and look at all the different amounts of earnings that are kind of around that $60,000 cost. You don't get to $60,000 and just know you're going to have higher earnings. So we said, how might this be helpful in making informed college choices? Well, this could be helpful in making informed college choices because if you're wondering, is it worth it to spend more money on college? Right? I'm asking myself, should I attend the more expensive college? What is the outcome of that? What are the positive reasons to attend it? There might be other positive reasons. We're only looking at one relationship, but in terms of earnings after 10 years, it doesn't seem to be that predictive of how much money you're going to earn if the cost of the college is higher. What are the limitations of the model? Are there assumptions or generalizations that might make it unrealistic? Well, one limitation is we don't have a complete data set of all of the colleges in the country. We only have a group. We have a good amount of data points, but we don't really even know how those data points were selected. So we might need more data points to get an even better picture. Another limitation might be that this is only, like I said, only comparing the cost and the median earnings. Maybe we would want to look at the mean earnings, the average earnings, or another kind of statistical predictor besides median earnings. We're only looking at 10 years. What happens in 15 years? What happens in 20 years? Does that change? What happens in 5 years? Are there assumptions or generalizations that might make it unrealistic? For this one, not necessarily, besides the fact that we're assuming that the data set that we have represents all colleges and universities. What are the areas for further research? That is, what new things are you wondering about that could be investigated by you or someone else? Again, you can pause and answer these questions throughout the video and then come together when I'm going over it. So what are some areas for further research? I might want to look into other things that are related to cost per year. The size of the school, the graduation rate, other factors that might be related to cost per year and see if those are correlated to the cost. If I'm interested in median earnings, I might try to look at other relationships and see, is there something else that better predicts median earnings per year, and make some type of representation there. I might want to look into maybe the majors that certain schools have, because certain majors are going to inherently, right, what you're studying are going to inherently affect your median earnings. You might choose to be a teacher and your median earnings are going to be lower than if you're becoming a doctor. And if a school is specializing in teaching, then no matter what, the median earnings are going to be lower at that school. So I'm wondering also, maybe if I'm going to pick a job that has a lower median earnings, maybe I'm going to try to make sure I go to a school that has a lower cost, because eventually I'm going to have to pay for that school, unless you have a scholarship or someone that's paying for you. Okay, so after analyzing this student work, and again, like I said, you could pause throughout, you want to answer this question. Based on this model, based on if you were able to work with a classmate for this and look at their work as well, you can use this slide to go ahead and take your model and revise it and improve it based on what you've seen or heard in today's lesson. So in summary, every statistical model has limitations and has benefits that can be helpful for when analyzing a set of data, and it's important as a mathematician to be able to identify both the benefits and limitations of the statistical model so you can make informed decisions.